In today's video, we will show you how to determine the minimum energy or the ground state energy of a quantum harmonic oscillator using the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Before we get to the quantum case, let's briefly look at the classical case. The total energy of a classical harmonic oscillator consists of two terms. One is the kinetic energy and the other one is the potential energy. So for the classical case, the lowest energy state occurs when the oscillator is at rest. So that means when the velocity or the speed is zero, which implies the momentum is zero. And that in turn implies zero kinetic energy. Also, at the lowest state energy, the spring is unstretched. That means the displacement is zero, which in turn implies a zero potential energy. For the quantum case, however, things are a little bit different. And the reason is because of the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, which says the reduced uncertainty in the measurement of one variable comes at a cost of increased uncertainty in the measurement of the other variable. Here, x refers to the position and p refers to the momentum. Let's see how this is done in a following problem. According to the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, the uncertainty in particles' momentum can be reduced only at the cost of an increase in the uncertainty of the particle's position. Condition of minimum energy implies a compromise between the two factors. Use this to estimate the minimum energy of a quantum harmonic oscillator, whose energy is given by this expression. M is mass and gamma is a constant. So this represents the total energy of the quantum harmonic oscillator: momentum, position. The particle in any quantum state has a non-zero position uncertainty, which we can denote by delta x. And this uncertainty in position is defined by the following equation. Uncertainty in position squared equals the average of x squared minus the average position squared. There is also a non-zero momentum uncertainty defined similarly. Like that. It is these two quantities that we see in Heisenberg uncertainty relation. Let's rewrite the energy equation in terms of average quantities, like that. Then we can use these two expressions to express these two quantities in terms of the uncertainties. And we get an expression that looks like this. This expression can be rewritten in terms of uncertainties in a following manner: delta p squared plus the average of p squared. And likewise for the position part, this can be rewritten using that expression in a following manner: delta x squared plus average position squared. Now we will have to rely on a semi-classical model to prove something. If you have a harmonic oscillator that is oscillating back and forth like that, we know in classical case the position is expressed, say, in terms of an oscillating function. Let's call it cosine omega t, where omega is the angular frequency. What that means is the average value of x over a complete period is zero. So that means this term is zero. Likewise, the position and therefore momentum would vary as sine omega t, because this is a time derivative of that. And over a complete period, that would also go to zero, which implies that to go to 0. We stress that although these two results are obtained using help from the classical model, quantum calculations show exactly that, namely, the average value of momentum and average value of position is 0. To this end, we can rewrite the average value for energy in the following manner: 1 over 2m delta p squared plus gamma over 2 delta x squared. We note that when we write momentum, we are, in this case, referring to the x component of that linear momentum. Let's not forget, our aim is to determine the minimum value of that number. And let's not forget, this is delta p squared, that is delta x squared. Now let's invoke the uncertainty principle that says delta x, delta p greater or equal to h bar over 2. H bar over 2 is the Planck's constant over 2 pi. Since we desire to calculate the minimum energy, the ground state energy, we will look at the equality of that relation. So namely, the uncertainty in x times the uncertainty in p equals h bar over 2. That means delta p can be expressed in terms of delta x as h bar over 2 delta x. And let's substitute this in here. That would mean it becomes h bar squared over 4 delta x squared. So let's rewrite the delta x squared within bracket just to make things clear like that. What that means is now the minimization of E reduces into just an ordinary calculus problem. So all we have to do is to take the derivative of E with respect to delta x, and then later equate that expression to 0 to proceed. But first let's determine the expression for the derivative. Now the first term, we have a bunch of constants, h bar squared over 8m. This is 1 over delta x squared. When you take the derivative of it with respect to delta x, you get minus 2 1 over delta x raised to the power 3. Now the second term, that's easy. That's going to give you gamma delta x. So that will cancel that to give you a 4. Basically what you have is minus h bar squared over 4m delta x power 3 plus gamma delta x. In order to find the minimum value of that quantity, we have to equate the derivative to 0. And when you do that, you get h bar squared over 4m delta x cube equals gamma delta x. Rearranging some terms, the gamma will go here, and here it will be delta x raised to the power 4. So delta x squared becomes h bar over 2 square root 1 over m gamma. Remember, a few minutes ago we have an expression for the energy in terms of just delta x that reads something like this: h bar squared over 2m times 4 delta x squared plus gamma over 2 times delta x squared. Of course, we can multiply the 2 and 4, give you an 8. In order to get the ground state energy or the minimum energy, all we have to do now is to substitute this expression in here and in there. So let's do term by term. The energy or the minimum energy equals h bar squared over 8m times 1 over delta x squared. So 1 over delta x squared is 2 over h bar square root m gamma. Now the second term, gamma over 2 delta x squared. So delta x squared is h bar over 2 square root 1 over m gamma. Let's try to simplify the terms. This is going to give you a 4. That will kill that h bar. So the first term will give you h bar over 4m square root m gamma. If you bring this m inside the square root sign, that's going to give you gamma over m. Now the second term, you have h bar there. This is 4. Let's bring the gamma inside. It will become gamma squared. So that's going to kill one of the gamma from the bottom. That's going to give you another gamma over m. So that is the minimum energy. And we can sum the two to give h bar over 2 square root gamma over m. So there we go. This is the desired expression. Let's rewrite this expression in a more conventional form in terms of angular frequency. It becomes p squared over 2m plus half m omega squared x squared. So m is the mass of the oscillator and omega is the angular frequency. So together they are taken to be gamma. So if we substitute gamma to be m omega squared, this expression will become m omega squared over m, so m goes away, square root of omega squared is omega. So you get h bar omega over 2, which is indeed the established term for the ground state of quantum harmonic oscillator. So you can see here how uncertainty principle may be used to yield highly accurate results, in this case exact result, for energy of quantum systems. As always, thank you for watching.